Everybody, I'm Wes.
And I'm Sam. We're here to start off your day by bringing you the latest in bells and news.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Today's
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is Friday, February 17th. Friday 17th. Today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. Take time to do something nice for someone today.
Our Black History fact for today is that Cecil Gaines was a sharecropper's son who grew up in the 1920s as a domestic servant for a white family who casually destroyed his. Eventually striking out on his own, Cecil became a hotel valet of such efficiency and discreetness in the 1950s that he became a butler in the White House itself, where he served numerous presidents over several decades.
What's for lunch today, Wes?
Our lunch for today will be calzone and manager's choice.
The sides will be ham or turkey and cheese chef salad, a chicken ranch wrap, golden corn, and sweet potatoes.
Climate change is affecting the amount of oxygen in the oceans. From 1960 to 2010, oceans lost 2% of their oxygen. The North Pacific and the Arctic Oceans suffered the greatest loss. Here's a video that explains some of the effects that climate change has on the oceans.
Our planet is rapidly largely due to human activities, and some of the most dire consequences are being felt in our oceans. WWF recently released a study stating that by 2050 we might not have any more coral reefs due to the effects of climate change. I went diving with the Director of Conservation and Research at the Georgia Aquarium, Dr. Alistair Dove, to talk about these issues.
So coral reefs, aside from being a beautiful place that is brimming with color and life, they provide all sorts of services for us. There's food that we get from coral reefs, but they also act as natural barriers to protect the coast against damaging storms.
The World Wildlife Fund report also claims that marine populations have declined by nearly 50% since 1970 levels.
We need to invest some energy and creative resources in coming up with ways to grow the food that we need to sustain the growing population, and we need to find other ways to deal with this climate change problem before it gets too much worse in the oceans and we lose something really, really special.
Now, if we warm to 2 degrees Celsius or even beyond that, what does that mean for our oceans?
So coral are tolerant of temperature changes. We know they're tropical, but they don't like the temperature to change very much. And so we're going to look at corals first. So they're the first sign that things are going wrong. But there could be far-reaching ramifications for the whole marine food web, and we don't even know what some of those changes are likely to be. We do need to limit carbon dioxide outputs. We need to find ways that we can sequester the carbon dioxide that's already in the atmosphere, and we need to do all the other things that are necessary to help the oceans, reducing fishing pressure, reducing plastic pollution, easing up on tourism, and creating and enforcing more effective marine protected areas that can save those parts of the ocean that are still in really good shape.
Like Dr. Dove says, it's not too late to save our marine habitats. If we all work together, our ocean's natural wonders can be enjoyed for generations to come.
I'm CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam within the Georgia Aquarium.
More arrests were made after Kim Jong-nam's brother of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was killed as he waited for a plane to Macau. 2 women were detained. Kim died Monday after being poisoned while waiting for a plane to Kuala Lumpur. The 2 females remain in custody to this day.
The BBC has been working on a 2-year project to create Planet Earth 2, a sequel to the acclaimed Planet Earth video series. NBC has more on the production that airs on Saturday.
So extraordinary is the story of our planet, you could say it's worthy of a sequel.
We will journey to every corner of the globe.
This Saturday, Planet Earth 2 premieres on BBC America, a decade after the original stunned audiences with its sweeping views of the world.
Planet Earth 1 was a very observed series, looking down upon the planet from upon high kind of thing. Planet Earth 2 is we're down with the animals.
Using new technology, filmmakers capture an intimate, ultra-high-definition view of the animals, like the slow-motion journey of a lovelorn sloth, or the battle between Komodo dragons competing for a mate.
I think that we're trying to very much put you into the animals' world and for people to actually sort of draw their own conclusions about what life must be like for them.
We're taking a...
We executive producer, and Elizabeth White. She produced and directed the first episode about islands, which features a heart-pounding scene that shows iguana hatchlings trying to outrun an army of racer snakes.
It's honestly more dramatic than a car chase in a movie, isn't it?
I mean, people have likened it to a kind of Indiana Jones movie sequence.
It's impossible not to be impressed.
Narrated by famed British naturalist David Attenborough, each episode focuses on a setting: mountains, jungles, deserts, grasslands, and a relatively new habitat: cities. The series shines a light on various challenges facing this fragile planet, the product of 2 years of filming across 40 different countries, a Herculean effort, uncovering true life stories that make planet Earth the ultimate reality star. Joe Fryer, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Now to Oreo with your Belzer Sports Update.
Yesterday, girls basketball continued in the Marion County tournament. Unfortunately, the 7th grade lost. However, the 8th grade beat New Augusta 54-23 and advances to the quarterfinals on Saturday at 10:15 a.m. at Northview. Good luck. Remember, if you are interested in trying out for baseball, you can join workouts every Saturday from 11 to 12:30 in LC's Upper Gym. Enter through the athletic office door. Now back to our anchor host.
Thanks, Oreo.
We have lost a loved one or are interested in joining a grief group. Please sign up under student help page on our website.
8th graders, please have your next year course request sheets for next year's classes to Miss Neal by March 1st. LC counselors will be there next week during C and D lunches to answer any questions.
Remember, students, to submit your essay or poem for a Black History Month contest to Mr. Morris by next Friday. There is one correction. The essay minimum word count is 250, not 500. There is no maximum word count.
Yesterday, Dino completed his ICANN testing during Dino's Club. Miss Nolan shared an ABC video with us on the ICANN event of this week, in which other ICANN dogs deliver treats throughout the city.
Best day in the world.
Our celebrity birthday is Michael Jordan, who turns 54. He is a retired professional basketball player who is widely regarded as the best player of all time. He won the NBA Finals 6 times and was named Finals MVP 6 times, and the overall NBA MVP 5 times.
On this day in history, in 1972, the Volkswagen Beetle became the world's best-selling car with over 15 million models produced.
Today is the day your Who Am I contest answers are due in the box at lunch. Please have your pencils ready for today's clues. All the clues from the entire week are scrolling on the hallway TVs.
Here was yesterday's Who Am I?
At the age of 15, I passed a college entry exam and was granted admission to a historic black college in Georgia.
Myself and 3 other men founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC.
I was 35 years old when I won the Nobel Peace Prize. At the time, I was the youngest person to ever receive the award.
Who am I? Here's today's Who Am I challenge.
I was the first African American to graduate from Iowa State University.
In 1896, Booker T. Washington, the president of Tuskegee University, asked me to run its agriculture department.
During that time, I designed the Jessup wagon, which was used as a mobile classroom to educate farmers in the area.
Who am I? Our quote of the day is from Benjamin Franklin, who once said, "Well done is better than well said."
A reminder that there is no school on Monday because it is President's Day.
Now to Miss Neal and Mr. Archer with the rest of our morning announcements. Have a splendid
day,
Bruins.
Good morning! Thank you so much, anchors, for advertising the blue sheets that need to come back to me or your social studies teachers, 8th graders. Okay, you want to make sure you get these in. And as was said earlier, starting on Tuesday, there will be a counselor here during lunches to answer any questions you might have. I will answer easy, simple questions, but those more complicated personal questions that apply only to you, I would love for you to connect with your counselor during your lunch period. All right, Mr. Harsha, would you please help me with the Core 4 class of the day?
I would be happy to.
Drum roll, please.
The winner is...
Oh, it's Mrs. Field's first period class. It says they are awesome. They exhibit the Core 4 expectations every day. They come to class prepared and take responsibility of their own learning. They engage in group work and have discussions while remaining respectful of each other's opinions, even when they disagree. Great job. Today you will be getting your treat during lunch. So students, I will have a list of your names and you can come to student services during your lunch period. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Harsha. I will leave at this time.
Thank you so much. All right, congratulations again to Mrs. Field's first period class. Please keep up the good work. Couple announcements that I have this morning. First of all, I would like to thank 3 very important people for giving of their time last night. Last night, Lawrence Township held an event over at Fall Creek Valley to help give information to all parents and students who will be coming into middle school next year. And I just want to take a minute to thank Mrs. Neal, Mr. Connors, and Charlie Hawk for coming to our event last night. All 3 of them were awesome, and we represented Belzer and Lawrence Township very well. The parents were very excited to learn all that information, and I appreciate all of you taking time to come. Second thing I want to talk about, I want to give a reminder to college prep teachers that midterms go home today. Students, remember, this is your halfway point. This is an opportunity for you to look at your grades and determine if they are where you want them to be. Chances are, if they are where you want them to be, you need to keep on doing the same thing you're doing now. If your grades are not where you want them to be, remember, that means you have to change something. That means you have to turn in your assignments or get more organized or manage your time or pay more attention in class or study for those tests or whatever it might be. You got to make a change, and you got to make it now so that by the time the actual grade comes out at the end of the 3rd term, you're in good shape. So keep that in mind. A reminder that reading logs on Tuesday. Remember, we do not have school Monday, so it's going to be extra important that you remember over the weekend to grab that book, get in those minutes, get it written down, get your signature, and turn it in. And as an extra incentive, again, please don't forget, hold your college prep peers accountable. We will be offering donuts next week. So next Friday, a week from today, I will be offering donuts to the classes that have at least 80% participation. I want to talk about lockers. Yesterday, the teachers had a great meeting about I-STEP testing, which is coming up here upon us pretty soon. And one of the things that we talked about is that book bags and cell phones need to stay in your locker, particularly during I-STEP testing. I want to give a reminder today to all students that you can access your locker number and your locker combination through Skyward. So you can open up your Chromebook, you can log into Skyward just like you do when you check your grades, and over there on the left side in the column there should be a button that says Locker Info. You can click on that and get your locker number and your locker combination. If you're having trouble with that, come to Student Services or see the Miss Mitchell up in the front office. We've got to make sure that you have access to that locker so you can put your things up. I also want to talk about cell phones. Folks, I don't want to take too much time talking about this issue, but I have started to hear about cell phones more and more. So I want to remind students and teachers that there is a specific mention of cell phones and what the rules and regulations are here at Belzer in our student handbook. That is available on our website. It's available to students on their launch page. We try to put it out there as much as we can. The bottom line is that if you are bringing a cell phone to school, Number one, the expectation is that it goes in your locker during the day. We totally understand that students need to have that phone in case mom or dad needs to text or call or leave a message about what you're doing after school. We totally understand that's a communication tool that many of you use. However, we definitely don't want those to become a distraction for you, your classmates, or the teacher during instruction. So, our handbook clearly states that cell phones should not be in sight during class time. Now, if you don't want to put it in your locker, like the school strongly recommends, please remember that you are doing so at your own risk. So, if your cell phone falls out of your pocket or out of your book bag or off of your desk and breaks, that's on you. If you leave your cell phone on your desk and you go to lunch and when you come back it's not there, that's on you. The school cannot possibly try to manage and keep up with nearly 1,200 students and their personal electronic devices. All of the things that you can use your cell phone for, whether it's the calculator, whether it's doing research, looking something up online, that can all be done with your Chromebook. So this is a message to you now, a reminder, cell phones should not be out in class. And again, the school stance is we cannot possibly regulate all those, so you are bringing them to school at your own risk. Keep them out of sight, locked up in your locker where you are the only one who has the combination, and at that point, nothing should happen to that. This is extremely important because as we get into I-STEP testing, cell phones are not even allowed in the testing room. If you have a phone in your possession when you come into the I-STEP testing, you are looking at an opportunity of having your test invalidated and possibly even other people in the classroom. So we are going to be very strict about cell phones, and I wanted to put that message out here right now. Hope everyone has an awesome Friday. Get those reading logs done for Tuesday. Enjoy your Monday off. Have a great day.